Hello, my sweet Vegians, EB the Original Master here, and welcome back to another VeggieTales review. So in this review, I'll be reviewing The Ballad of Little Joe, released on August 5th of 2003, and this is the second VeggieTales episode to be released in 2003, first being The Wonderful World of Autotainment, which is a pretty okay episode in my opinion, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So let's begin. So in this episode, Bob and Larry gets a letter from Peter McGiffins, who actually states that he actually is in a new classroom with a bunch of new students where he doesn't feel safe in. I'm not going to go way into details about the teachers' names and whatnot, because if you want to know about that, you can look it up on the Big Idea Wiki. So, Larry decided to tell a Western, but Bob wanted to tell a normal Bible story, so they both get into an argument where we had an Easter egg of his cheeseburger playing in the background under the technical difficulties screen. So there goes another his cheeseburger reference in VeggieTales, so it's pretty funny. So they've agreed to tell a Bible Western story about the Ballad of Little Joe, done by Larry. In fact, Larry plays Little Joe in this story, where he has lots of brothers, and it's a French Western, meaning that the French peas are in this episode. There's a whole bunch of French peas, and yeah, so this was actually a pretty interesting setup. So, Little Joe is celebrating his birthday with his brothers until he told his brothers about his dream that he had, where he imagined himself as a cactus. So, there's a bunch of cactuses, and Little Joe happened to be one of those cactuses, and so his brothers thought his dream might become a reality. So, what they do is they throw him under the mines for punishment, and then he gets taken by robbers. Well, Little Joe gets taken by robbers, and then he is taken to the city of Dodgeball. So it's Dodgeball City. That's the name of the city where Little Joe was taken at because of his brothers being mean to him. So Little Joe is working at a root tootin' pizza place where the song is the guy singing about Little Joe, and it's really weird, in a Western setting. So Little Joe is working at the Root Tootin' pizza place where they are serving root beers, cherry slushies, and pepperoni pizzas, which is pretty tasty in my opinion because it sounds delicious, where they're singing a song about Little Joe working at this restaurant, where we get to see Madame Blueberry in this episode. In the 2000s, Madame Blueberry is more of a violet color than a blue color like she was in Madame Blueberry back in 1998, which I've reviewed already. And yeah, so she's a little bit a different color of blue. In fact, she's like more like a violet color than blue. I don't know why they made her violet, but it is what it is. So they realized that Little Joe stole money from the Root Tootin' pizza place, so they throw him in prison, and that's where we get to the silly song segment, which is actually the first screen time of this boy band named Boys in the Sink, which consists of Larry the Cucumber, Mr. Lunt, Junior Asparagus, and Jimmy Gourd. I don't know why Junior Asparagus decided to be in this boy band. His voice cracks every time he sings, so I doubt that they agreed for him to join this boy band. I bet he just came out of nowhere and say, "Hi guys, I want to be in this band," and Larry's like, "Sorry, Junior, we can't have you in this band because your voice cracks every 5 minutes." "Oh, come on, Bob." Oh, Bob, I'm sorry. I mean, Larry. I apologize for that. But yeah, so they sing a song about Mr. Lunt not having a belly button. I don't know why, but it was a pretty funny song. And actually a really good song, too. In fact, Larry actually had the manatee from Endangered Love from King George and the Ducky, Barbara Manatee. So yeah, that was a pretty good Easter egg. And the puppy lady from Esther, the Girl Who Became Queen, which will be my next review after this one, makes another cameo in this episode. She also made a cameo again in Lyle the Kindly Viking and the Larry's High Silk Hat Silly Song. So after the silly song with Boys in the Sink, we then get back to the story where Little Joe is in the jail cell, fixing it up a bit to make it look more better. And so Little Joe then tells Sheriff Bob, about his problems with his brothers, about him being mean to them, and God tells him that he is special and he doesn't deserve his punishments. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed things up a bit because I don't want to talk about everything in this episode. So the episode ends where everybody has dreams. So basically, Mr. Nezer, who is in this episode, who's actually he's actually the mayor of Dodgeball City. He has a dream, and then every time he wakes up from his dream, it turns out to be a nightmare. And then you see an avalanche of dodgeballs coming out of nowhere, hitting this. I don't know who he is. I don't think it's like an Onion character. I don't know who he was, but yeah, that was actually a running gag. Is that every time the characters had dreams, an avalanche of dodgeballs comes rolling down, injuring this Onion character. I don't know who his name is, but I don't care. So, Little Joe then finds his brothers, and then they end up getting thrown in prison. And so, Little Joe then confesses them that they should have never been mean to him, and so they all celebrated in the jail cell, ending the Ballad of Little Joe. And yes, Junior Asparagus got thrown into prison, which was pretty funny. That was actually one of my favorite Junior moments. Is him getting thrown in prison. It was pretty funny because he was giving out a pizza with nickels in it, and there was actually a famine going on. That's why they were building like a water tower. I think it was either a water tower or a building. I'm not sure what it was, but that's what they were building. And so that's how the Ballad of Little Joe ends, is them celebrating in the jail cell, and they all live happily ever after. So yeah, this was actually a pretty good episode. The Ballad of Little Joe was actually really good. This episode gets a 8.5 out of 10 for me. So yeah, that was a good episode. Well, hope you guys enjoyed my review for the Ballad of Little Joe. I'll see you guys next time on my review on the strange side of things, Esther, the girl who became queen, which will be a pretty interesting review. I'll promise. I'll just have to go back and rewatch it again because I did see this the first time. I did see this episode back during the summer, but I'm going to rewatch it again so I can get my memories back again. So with that said, God loves you special and he loves you very much. Goodbye.